God bless and good morning, everyone. Where to start? Where to start? I've had a lot of people comment about how stupid it sounds, but they've never thought about it because they're told lies, and to them, it's reality. I mean, if you look up, you'll see the sun is red, orange, and yellow. And not a single idiot out there can tell me how those three color combinations mix to make white. All they can do is pull out a prism and say, see, look at the prism. Okay, how the fuck does that prove that it's a single light source? All that shows is that the colors of the spectrum. That doesn't prove anything. My point, the sky is blue. The sea is blue. And we have this little bitty piece of shit sun, or what is the moon in all reality, that's closer to us than this blue object in the sky we call the moon. That little sun races by every 24 hours. Every 24 hours it races by. It races by fast. That means that, using parallax, that means that little red object, yellow object, and orange object is fucking close. Closer than the damn moon. What you could call the moon. That blue light in the sky. What you want to call the moon is further away than the sun. Bottom line. Look at it this way. What time is sunrise? If you say 6, you're looking at anywhere between 5,500 miles away, or 7, which again translates to 4,500 miles away. You're looking at anywhere between a 500 and a 400 mile hump that the light bends through. Using that simple logic, at 8 inches per mile squared, you're looking at never, and I repeat, never having an equinox where night and day are equal, because light bends over that 400 or 500 miles. You see it at daybreak. Think about that. Let that sink in. If there's never an equinox, we can live on a planet. If, however, there is an equinox, then there's a problem. Because it shows that that little light that races by real quick is in front of this big blue light. This big blue light has the power to paint the sky. It has the power to paint the sea. Yet when this little bitty yellow sun comes by the sea, it don't change the fucking color of the sea. The sea is still blue. It ain't yellow. It's not orange. And it's not red. So, you have to go through and figure out how those 3 single colors can mix together to make white. If you cannot tell me the exact color combination where you take this many parts red, this many parts orange, and this many parts yellow, you don't know shit. If you cannot tell me how those 3 colors can mix together into one light, what are you showing? Nothing? Oh, you're pulling out a prism. Big fucking deal. I mean, who is the dickhead who used his dick to measure from here on Earth to the sun? Or is it shit he's pulling out his ass because he does not know? None of these people know. I mean, to claim that, oh yes, it is only this far away, or, oh yes, we've measured it through this number system. What fucking number system? Shit they're pulling out their ass? I mean, fools seldom disagree with anything. Look at Michael... Yep, never mind. Not gonna do that, because I'll get pinged for it. Don't. And I'm not gonna get pinged. It may be put in the adult category, which is fine with me. But the thing is, 4 to 5,000 miles away, this little orange ball runs by every 24 hours. Every 24 hours at 7 o'clock, it's 1,000 miles, it's several thousand miles away. You cannot tell me that that sun is lower or closer to the earth than what it is at noon above your head. Now, if they see the sun at sunset, that means that's a limit to their vision on what they can completely see in the orb that surrounds them like a pyramid going up. The sun at daybreak is a straight line that you see as a pyramid or an arc because of your limited vision. It is a line in the sky that none of these scientists can say, oh, it's by fusion. They don't know, because none of them, not a goddamn one of them, have ever been there to measure it. It's all hypothesis or Zionism, where theory overrules fact, where Einstein and his Zionists, if the facts don't fit the theory, you ignore the facts. And this is what they do. This is your science of today. And actually, it's not science. It's Z-I-O-N. Zion. Which sounds exactly like science, because they refer to their priests as scientists. But it is Z-I-O-N, not S-C-I-O-N. Zion, meaning that you have to have proof of claim. Not just pull shit out of your ass. If you can't prove it, guess what? It's hearsay shit. If you have to resort to someone, that's a priest. Because you're not smart enough to know. And if you're not smart enough to know, and you have to resort to a priest, that's a fucking religion. I don't care what you want to call it. Call it what you will. It's a religion. There's no arguing with religion, because they'll pull shit out of their ass in order to protect them. I mean, they're nothing more than Bible thumpers. That is who they are. They're not smart people. They're fools that seldom disagree. It's theory after theory based on theory. In other words, shit based on shit is still shit no matter which way you look at it. Call it what you will. You still have the shithead idiots who's pulling this shit out of their ass, calling it fact, and having other fools not disagree with them, but agree. I mean, how do you measure the weight of the world? Well, if you use Zion, you got 2 guys in a shed, 4 balls, 2 dicks, 2 asses. Guess what they're doing? They ain't measuring anything. They're fucking each other. It's not a matter of, well, they got it to work once. Guess what? If you can't get it to work again, that theory's out the window. That means it's not real. That means their shit is shit. In other words, they're fucking each other in the shed, coming up with these decisions, which fools seldom disagree. The only way you get 4 balls in the shed is with 2 guys. I mean, there ain't no other way. You want to play this little game of, well, we'll twist a wire this way and we'll untwist it that way, and guess what? It don't work that way. I mean, I have bowling balls with marbles surrounding them, and the last 10 years ain't shit moved. Not a single inch. But then again, there hasn't been an earthquake here in 10 years, so guess what? That shit don't move. And you want to claim, well, because of math somehow. You know what? I'll take a stick, rub it across the dirt, or rub it above the dirt. That stick has more mass than the dirt. The dirt should pull up, in theory, if mass had any effect on anything. But it doesn't, because mass isn't anything. Mass is a pretend word for an ass who wants to make more of him. M-A-S-S. More asses. Mass. This is who these people are. Well, we'll come up with these words and stuff that no one can ever define, because if they're undefinable, we can use them however we want. Point. How many different points are there? What's the definition of point? Is it a dot? Is it a location? What is it? You can't name it because there's so many different damn words for it. One. I can count one on my fingers. I can count O-N-E as in one. And then I can count W-O-N as in one. 3 different ways to spell one word. They don't mean the same thing. I mean, 2 is 2 is 2 is 2. T-W-O is 2, as in the number 2. And 2, T-O-O, includes 2, T-O. But they don't mean the same thing. Yet you want to tell me how these people who are coming up with this math and everything else are using these words that don't mean anything, somehow mean something? Because some moron somewhere said, well, the sun is the only source of light, and because of clear liquid on the earth, it somehow translates the red, orange, and yellow into blue. You know what? That's a fucking moron. You can't prove in any way, shape, or form, in any stretch of your imagination, no matter how fucking drunk you want to act, how red, orange, and yellow can equal white. And until you do, you cannot argue the point. Until you can come up with how those 3 colors can make white, you have no claim. There is no solar system or any other of this magical shit you want to pull out your ass, because there's a max you can see, but that doesn't include what other people see. They have a dome. The reason it's called an eyeball is because you see through a fucking curve. Seeing a fucking curve through a lens is like, as in the machine I described, it's an X, which makes a pyramid, which means that the highest point that you'll ever see the sun is at noon. But then again, at daybreak and at sunset, it's still as high above the earth at noon as it is when it's above your head. That's the only thing you can take for fact. You can't take that the sun is so big that it causes light to bend 400, 500 miles around this orb. What? That means there would be never, and I repeat, never a day in history that an equinox would be recorded. Ever. But we have equinoxes. We have it where daytime and nighttime don't match up. We have it where nighttime is sometimes longer than daytime. And you know what? If the sun was that big, that far away, and bending light that far, there ain't no fucking way. Sorry, had to get that off my chest. Bye.